One thing that you have to understand about me is I'm really that nigga. Do you know what that means when I say that?
I'm that bitch. Like you said before, you're that fill in the blank.
What blank? What was the
I can't tell you what the blank was.
You know how viral that'll go?
Not to it would it wouldn't be a good strategy because I would have one video of me blow up and then I wouldn't get any subscribers ever again after that. But then I was gonna say, then again, there would be some crazy people out there.
How many Trumpers are out there?
Yeah, they'd be like, yes. They'd be like.
She said nigga right in front of her. Can we circle back to the interest in this black dude?
Yes. The one that I went on a date with?
Yeah, because you said you didn't go on a second date.
No, I didn't go on a second date.
This shit turned into, you tricked us into having a whole View talk. We sound like the motherfucking View right now. I'm sipping my tea.
I needed to vent. Yeah, so that was before this guy. I went on the dating app. I met all these guys on dating apps, on Tinder, Hinge, all that stuff.
Wait, what was before this guy?
The black guy.
The black guy was before you, the weird experience.
This weird experience was the latest one. So I'm saying the other guy was before that. It was like maybe a month ago.
Okay.
Nice guy.
Yo.
He sounded white. And he had a whiter.
Ooh, we're dabbling into what is sounding white.
Is that racist?
Yeah.
If it's racist for me to say I went on a date with a black guy, I wanted to be a black, like I wanted to.
Yes.
He was
because
so white.
Now,
if I'm gonna dip my foot in the fucking pond of dating black dudes, I want him.
Black guy.
Not a black guy.
No, but I'm saying like, what is a?
You have a black voice. Your
black voice.
Your voice. Like if I closed my eyes and heard you talk, I would know you're a black man.
Okay.
With him, he was like, hi, like he was, and his ass was so flat it was inverted.
That matters to you?
If it's a black, like I thought black guys have nice supple. I don't
have no ass at all.
Yeah, but it's not inverted. I mean, this was like, can you
been looking at my ass?
Can you stand up and show us your ass?
I'll show you off camera. I'm not showing you my ass with the fucking camera.
It's not that flat because I would have noticed it. This guy, he was black, but to me, it was like dating a white guy. So I was kind of just like, I wanted this to be.
That's fair.
That's fair. Is that fair? Because someone told me that was racist.
No. It's. I'm being funny, but it is
fair.
It is fair because if I'm gonna date. Like if I'm like, yo, you know what? Let me see what this white girl talking about.
And you've never been with a white girl, and she has a black.
She's acting like a black girl would act. I would say, I may as well just be with a black girl. Like this. Yes. No, I get that point, but it was just funny. It was just funny. That was just funny. But okay, so.
But the door is open, and I have a feeling the crossover will be black musician because I'm already comfortable with musicians.
Oh, okay. I play the spoons. I don't know if you knew. I played the shit out of some spoons.
You did used to rap.
Yeah. But nah, that's I mean, that's interesting because, all right. Because then it goes back to the comfort talk.
Yeah.
That would be the happy medium.
That guy did not make me comfortable.
No, not him. I'm talking about the black. That would be the happy medium where it's like, I'm unfamiliar with the blackness of it, so it could be like some discomfort.
Now you sound more racist than
but the voice is the comfortable part because you're used to white dudes. So like but
I think black voice is my favorite part
of a black guy
because it's great.
That's because you never had black dick. How the fuck is the voice? Let me tell you something. A mute black man will fuck the shit out of you. The fuck are you talking about?
No, like I'm not talking about the dick. I've never seen the dick, but I'm talking about the essence of a black man. Like if I'm going to be attracted to a black man, your voice, you're making me laugh. Like I'm afraid to talk because I'm like, I'm a white woman talking about black people. This feels uncomfortable. But there's like a certain swagger about the way black people talk that is really like, I like that. Mm. Like black comedians are awesome. Like I had another black comedian on this episode. Her name was Pound Cake, and she was just had me dying of laughter. It's like the way they talk, their accent, like something about it gets me. So if I go on a date with a black guy and he's missing that, I'm like, that would be the best part of this.
Now,
besides the dick,
would that mean would that go into the maybe fetishy a little bit category?
No, because I'm not saying like talk to me like that in bed. I'm just saying.
But what if he?
It's not a fetish.
What if he in bed had the black voice though? Like outside of bed.
I'm not gonna be like, use your black voice.
Like outside of bed, this motherfucker is Carlton Banks. But when he gets you in the sack, he just turns into super nigga. And you tell him, I want you to be super nigga now. And he's
I can't tell him.
He's like, yeah, bitch, give me that. Like this shit just comes out.
No, because
that would make you wet as hell. If a black dude had a black alter ego,
I'm the kind
that'd
of
be funny.
I'm the kind of woman that the conversation turns me on. Like what gets me going, which is why I felt so disconnected from this guy, because there was no conversation. But what makes me want to rip a guy's clothes off is us flirting and talking beforehand. So I need the voice. But it's not even like foreplay in the traditional sense. It's more like let's flirt. Like I need to flirt.
Well, foreplay is what gets you going before the going. It don't have to be physical. For like what I'm saying is like the turn on has to be there. Yeah. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So like I would want the black voice to be present.
That's funny.
In those interactions.
That's cool. I get that. All I'm saying is I got a black voice. I played the spoons. We talk for hours on this motherfucker. I'm just saying. But nah, that's all right.
Do you know why I wouldn't? You want to know why I wouldn't fuck with you? Because you have too many women in your orbit.
I figured that. And you know what's funny? Wouldn't that be? And this is we speaking hypothetically now, right? Yeah. But wouldn't that be the interest sparker?
What? You having women in your orbit?
Like, yo, man, bitches just love this nigga. Let me just see what's about. Like, because
I think about the big picture, because I'm like, okay, you know, Ricky's a funny guy, works out and all, he takes care of his health, but he's clearly stated to me on multiple podcast episodes that he is a non-monogamous guy.
I first of all, those weren't my words. My words were.
You said that. You said monogamy isn't it.
I said monogamy is not the end all be all.
Yeah, you said that.
So I'm not gonna go out my way to be monogamous if it's gonna be miserable anyway.
Yeah.
But if there's somebody who, all right, how can I say this shit?
Okay.
Like if I get into a space where I feel like maybe I might have entered in not too long ago. If I get into a space where it's like, all right, maybe maybe it's just my own little. People act like monogamy is the relationship. And it's like, it's not, because I could never, me and you can get married tomorrow and I could never fuck another bitch again. But every time we fuck, it could feel like the weird experience, or, you know, I could be abusive, or, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of elements that make a relationship good. So I'm willing to be like, all right, my biggest thing is respect and peace. That's all I want. So if you're being respectful, and trust me, that's mutual. So if we're respecting each other and we're each other's peace, it might get to a point where it's like, well, I don't necessarily need another bitch. No bullshit. A lot of times, man, other women, like, all right, cool, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times we just want new pussy, and that's just really the genetic code. I don't know if that shit ever stops. The want probably never stops. But the act on it is all dependent on what the piece is with who we're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like if you're my piece and we respect each other and we have this thing and everybody gets into their fucking, you know, whatever is human.
Yeah.
But if the pros outweigh the cons, I'd be stupid as shit to toss away, and it's gonna sound away to motherfuckers who don't think outside the box, but I'd be dumb as hell to toss away a good woman because she falls short and fuck somebody else. Oh shit, damn, she cheated? Okay, but this motherfucker, she has all these good qualities, but she fucked up. That's fucking, that's not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right.
But for her to fuck up like that, I would imagine there would have to be a lack of peace. Because why would she?
A lack of what?
peace. You said you value peace, right?
No, but I also believe that
she wouldn't have a reason to fuck up if there was something out of balance.
Okay. And that's a very wholesome thing for you to say. But some people just belong to the streets. Some people literally, like, I know niggas that are, like, I'm talking about, I envy these niggas' ability to just fuck anything. Like, I envy it because it's like I know some niggas who, as soon as they hear the word pussy, it's like, where it's at? Yeah. And I'm just like, all right, damn. I don't have that. Like, I don't have that animal in me. Like,
yeah.
Now, once if we're establishing that, and that, you know, I guess, you know, for lack of a better term, connection is there and all that shit. Once it's time to conquer some pussy, I'm all in. Yeah. But I can't just be like, you know, all right, cool. You're an attractive person. If you stand up and get ass naked right now and tell me to fuck you, I'll be like, this bitch out of her mind. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So when you gonna drop this episode? Like, it's not, it don't happen for me like that. Like, it's just, I'm not that hungry for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's me personally, but if there was if there in a perfect world, I feel like things would, like, men and women would meet in the middle with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but there's also other aspects of it.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard of situations where a dude may be in a relationship with a woman or marry a woman, and she lays out all the shit that she won't do.
Yeah.
I've personally been in a relationship where one of my exes told me, I'm not sucking your dick. And it's like,
that's a deal breaker.
Okay. But it's not a deal breaker for me. My thing is, okay, so how do we fix this shit?
Yeah.
Because if we don't compromise, it could be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Because if you think, and I'm 22 at the time, if you think I'm gonna go the rest of my life without getting my dick sucked, you crazy as a motherfucker. So how do we fix this shit? And she felt like,
did she ever say why she? Well, you're about to tell. Are you about to tell me right now?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna tell you the reason, but she told me that, you know, at the time, and we were both young, but at the time she was like, it's disrespectful, and she was hitting me with all that other shit. Whereas, like, I'm not getting on my knees to, you know, all right, fair enough. I feel you. Be a feminist, but I'm gonna get my dick sucked at some point. Somebody gonna do it.
If you're not gonna do it, somebody will.
Right. So she was like, all right, fine. Well, you could have. She told me I can get my dick sucked, but she was like, I don't want you to fuck nobody else, but if you feel like you need to get your dick sucked, you can get your dick sucked. And I was getting my dick sucked, and one day she walked up on me getting my dick sucked at this spot where I grew up. She knew it was my spot.
Which woman out there is agreeing, I'm just gonna suck your dick and nothing else?
Oh man, look, we met in my later stages in life.
Yeah.
One thing that you have to understand about me is I'm really that nigga. Do you know what that means when I say that?
Can I guess? Wait, because it's the black language. Let me see.
Yeah,
is it saying, like, I can make anything happen? Is that what it's saying?
It's more so. Fuck, this is gonna sound whatever.
Just say
people know I'm arrogant, right?
Yeah.
Man, bitches love me. So it's like, all right.
Oh.
So it's like,
okay.
So if I have a woman who is dying to spend time with me or dying there, now on the flip side of that, you might not believe this, but there are women out there that really love sucking dick.
I like it too, but I like doing it with somebody
but you like it with like you love doing it as long as
there's a reciprocation.
Right. There's are
women out there who respects a man so much that will just suck it and not expect
Well, that, and there are women that really just like, because in their mind is control. In their mind, I can make him come whenever the fuck I want. It's a power thing.
They feel like they're involved?
Yeah.
That's so interesting how you have one girl. That's interesting. You have one girl saying it makes her feel powerless.
Right.
And you have one woman who says it makes her feel powerful. That's crazy.
And you understand the dichotomy that I was in.
Yeah.
But my ex, one night I wasn't answering the phone.
Yeah.
She knew what it was. So she went to the spot that she knew was whatever. And
she knew it was the dick
she
sucking
walked up on her. Well, it wasn't a dick sucking spot. It was just where I would take bitches that, like, that's where me and her hung out a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
she knew where to find you.
Yeah. So she walked up on her, she seen it. And I guess her seeing it
sparked some change.
Was like, nah, I can't do this. And she cried and she did the whole shit. And I was just like, look, this is what we agreed on. I didn't feel like nothing was wrong. But if you feel this way, then let's revisit the table.
Did she start sucking your dick?
And she started sucking my dick. And she started sucking it well. It was
interesting.
It was and now here's what's funny. I would feel like shit if I somehow manipulated that situation. Like if I set it up to where, all right, this bitch gonna see me get my dick sucked and start sucking. It was I was really okay with like, all right, this is my girl. This is the one I'm in love with. This is the one I'm gonna have a relationship with.
Yeah.
I'm getting my dick sucked over here. And it wasn't just one person that was sucking my dick. I like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, this is my girl and these my dick suckers. I am okay with compromise. Because of course, if I have, all right, cool, just hypothetically speaking, but not hypothetical because it's the past.
Yeah.
If I have 4 women that are just willing to suck my dick, naturally I'm gonna want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like naturally I'm gonna want to do that. But I can also say, all right, she's cool enough to be like, I don't want to do this. Get it done somewhere else. I'd be greedy to start fucking these bitches because I'm fucking her. Mm-hmm. It ain't like she not like it ain't like I want to fuck, I want to get my dick sucked and she ain't doing shit. Bro, I'll fuck the shit out you, but I'm not sucking your dick. Go get somebody else to do it. All right, cool. And then when she seen that, it's like, all right, I'll suck your dick.
Now, you know something interesting about the open relationship situation? One of the stipulations he told me before we did it, he was like, he told me, he was like, I just want to set down some boundaries. If you happen to see me and my woman out,
oh yeah,
don't talk to us. So I'm thinking to myself, kind of like that, like the girl who said, oh, you can get your dick sucked, but then she doesn't want to see it. That's interesting that they have this open relationship, but she would probably be in a lot of pain seeing it. You know?
Maybe, but that could also be that to me that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I've been a side piece a couple times, and even if they have an open relationship, it's just like something in me would be like, nah, that's her relationship. I shouldn't walk up and be like, yo, what's up?
Not that I would want to walk up. It's not that. It's just that the fact that he had to, obviously I'm not going to walk up to them. It's common sense. But the fact that he had to actually set it down as a boundary means there's an extra.
He might have been lying.
Oh.
Because realistically, you could have been anybody.
Yeah.
If he has a business, he has clients.
Yeah.
You could have been anybody. So him being like, yo, don't say shit to me. That was his guilty conscience trying to dictate how he would navigate through that situation if it were to happen.
I think he's being honest about the open relationship because these days information gets around. If he's on Tinder, I mean, his woman's going to find that eventually. I don't think you can hide. If you're going to be cheating on your woman and saying, oh, I'm in an open relationship, but it's cheating, you're not going to get away with it with a Tinder profile. A woman's going to find that. So I think he's,
fair enough.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's also, yeah, but I just think that's weird.
That's what
I would not. My only stipulation would be, yeah, if you see me out and I'm with my girl, you can say hi, but don't be like, so when's the next time you're gonna eat my ass? Like, don't get too crazy because it's like, yo, this is my girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, so that's just weird to be like no contact. No contact is just weird.
Yeah.
I never, anytime that I fucked a girl and then it was on some like no girl ever even like I've fucked girls and then maybe a week later I'll be at the mall with the homies and they'll be in the mall with their boyfriend.
Yeah.
And see me and say what's up and introduce me to their boyfriend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been in those situations and just because
in those situations, were they cheating or was it an open?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's
crazy.
Nah, but
it makes sense though.
It's not
it's
because
less if you're not that I'm endorsing people cheating on their partners and hiding it like that, but if we're just thinking about it like no consciousness and just pure strategy, it would be more weird to be like, don't say anything, because then there's that weird tension. It's kind of more natural to be like, hey, this is my friend.
Nah, if the other party don't, like, all right, if the other party don't know we know each other, there ain't nothing, right? Yeah. Like, if me and you in a relationship or if you're in a relationship with another dude and me and you know each other, he don't know we know each other, me and you fucking, if you walk past me in the mall and there's no contact, he ain't gonna think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? But
people women especially read energy. If a girl walks by and I see my man like stiffens up, I'm gonna know, like, body language is powerful. You know what I mean?
That's another point that I be making on stage where I say women aren't better cheaters. We just make it easier for y'all to cheat. Like,
because men don't have that intuition, or what?
No, it ain't that. It's just we're okay with being a side piece. Like, we're okay with, like, especially like in any like, women find it insulting if a married man slides in their DMs and is like, yo, I got a wife and kids, but you bad in the motherfucker. What's up?
Yeah.
If a wife slides in my DMs and is like, yo, I got a husband and 3 kids, but I want to suck your dick, I'll be like, bitch, for real? Like, you.
Do you know what I get a lot? I never get married men like straight up being like, want to fuck, but I get married men flirting with me a lot. And I wonder if that's them trying to open the door. Like, they would be willing to do something if I pushed it there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's crazy. It happens a lot more often than you'd think. Like, married men.
It happens a lot.
Instagram makes it really possible.
The reason why we make it easier to cheat is because we don't, like, if I'm fucking you and then I find out you have a boyfriend, I might look at you like, damn, bitch, you had a boyfriend this whole time? But I'm not out to put you on the spot in front of that nigga.
Yeah.
On the vice versa, if me and you fucking and you find out I have a girl, maybe not you personally, but 9 times out of 10, the woman is like, now she want to put you on black. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like, guys don't really, I'll make fun of you. Like, if we fucking and I find out you got a boyfriend, I'm like, damn, bitch, you in the street. Like, you could have just told me you had a boyfriend. Like, why you know what I'm saying? That I don't care if you got a boyfriend or not.
Do you think there's anything morally wrong with you sleeping with a woman who has a boyfriend? Do you feel okay about it?
Okay.
Because in my situation, I felt okay because they apparently communicated it with each other. So I'm like, if they're communicating it and it's okay, I don't feel like I'm doing it.
The only way I absolutely feel like it's wrong is if I know that, like, if I'm cool with the dude. If I'm cool with you, I can't fuck your girl.
Yeah.
But if I meet a woman out and she is, you know, I meet her on neutral ground, like, she ain't throwing it out there that she got a man, but we flirting and exchanging numbers and all types of shit.
Yeah.
Then I find out she has a man. I could still fuck her because it's like, it don't make sense to me to care about your relationship more than you do. I don't know why the fuck you out here.
But you don't feel a sense of like, I know I don't know this person, but I could be hurting this person, even though I don't know them, about the man.
No.
And I'm not trying to like morally, I'm just curious.
Because guys, I know that if women were just outside fucking.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. But for a woman to cheat, most times it takes something for her to get to that point. Dude could be a piece of shit. Dude could be lacking, like, you know what I'm saying? Her relationship could be what your experience was with old boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I could be, and this just could be my own weird rationalizing the situation, but I could be her comfort. I could be her, like, she's coming to me for something that she's not getting. Guys don't operate like that when we cheat most of the times. Dudes don't cheat because something is missing at the crib. Yeah. Motherfuckers, niggas cheat because, goddamn it, we outside and this pussy out here. So it's like, all right, I don't know why you got to the point. Now, if I did find out she had a man, I'd be like, all right, cool. So what's the deal? Like, why are you? Because bitches don't just cheat. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
And it would be that, you know what I'm saying? So like, I wouldn't necessarily feel no moral inclination to empathize with old boy because, now granted, all right, cool. Maybe she is just a piece of shit and she's just out here.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily fuck with women like that. I feel like I have a good way of gauging whether a woman's a piece of shit or not. So if I'm genuinely interested in a woman and we fucking, and then I find out she's in a relationship with somebody else, I'm like, all right, something's up. She ain't that good of an actress because it's hard to fool me.
Yeah.
I've been through hell and back with bitches. It's hard to like just fucking get one over my head or pull a wool over it can't happen.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? And 9 times out of 10, I think that's what it is anyway.
Would you say, this is kind of off topic, but not really. I'm just curious. Would you say you're yourself in all situations? So for example, the energy that you bring on the podcast, like the way you talk and your confidence and your quote unquote, as you call it, arrogance, when you're hanging out one-on-one with a woman you're fucking with, is that how you like do you act exactly how you are on the podcast? Like your personality is your personality everywhere you go?
Yeah.
That's good. I think that's a good thing.
I can only pretend for so long. It's hard for me to be like, I can't be no Prince Charming dude because of what my real life takes.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't be no dude that's like trying to fucking go over the top and impress you with, oh, let's hang out every day. Oh, let me buy you flowers. Let me buy you, because that's what you're going to expect.
Yeah.
When I meet you, yo, look, I'm interested, but this is what my life is.
Yeah.
So if you okay with handling this shit and dealing with this, we could figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the way I'm talking to you is the same way I talk. It's
What about your family? Like when you're, well, obviously not your kids, because you have to tone up a little bit around there. But like what about your parents? How do you talk around your parents?
My parents had me young, so they're not really as stiff as the rest of my family. But even the rest of my family, that like by now, 34-year-old me, 25, my family done came to comedy show. Like they know. Plus, growing up, I was always kind of the one that was like, you know,
the comedic.
Not comedic, but it's just, you know, what is this nigga gonna say now? Like it was one of those things.
They just accept you as you are. Yeah.
So like when my family, when I told them I started, or when they seen I was doing comedy, it wasn't no shock. It was like, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah. Makes sense because you just a crazy motherfucker anyway.
Yeah.
But like my parents, I don't necessarily, in essence, but as far as in detail and shit like that, like I don't sit down and talk to my mom about some of the shit I talk to you about. It's just, I don't do that. But my mom, no. My mom had me when she was 18. That means she was fucking my dad before 18.
Good point.
So it's like, all right, motherfucker, if me and you nasty and he's combined with both of us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it's some things are, you know, it don't have to be said. But like anybody that knows me knows I don't switch it up. People do see a different me when I'm with my daughters. But it's not necessarily a different me. It's just my daughter's me. Like I don't need to sit down and talk about this shit with my daughters. It just don't make sense. But once they get grown and they're out in the world and they're experiencing certain shit, they could be privy to you know, they're going to sit down and hear the family talks. And
I wonder what kind of father you're going to be when they're older. Are you going to be easygoing with them? Like say what you want? Or are you going to be like, I wonder how you're going to do that. I
want my daughters to be open with me about everything except their period.
Why the period?
Because that ain't got shit to do. All right. If you coming to me about a boy, if you coming to me
Are you weird when your woman talks about her period? Like if you're dating a woman and she talks about her period, does that weird you out?
First of all, bitch, don't talk to me about your period. If you got your period, all right, cool, I got my period. But we don't need to talk. What we need to talk about it for? It's just one of those things where it's like,
I don't know. It's kind of like, I feel like it's whenever I'm dating somebody and I can talk about it with them. I mean, like, there's not that much detail we need to go into, but like, let's say I'm on my period. I'm like, oh, I have cramps today. Like I want to be able to just be myself and like say what's on my mind, you know? That would bother you?
I did always wonder why that matters to, like, why that matters.
It's not that it matters. It's not like I need a man who will let me talk about my period. It's not like that. It's just I would talk about that way to my girl, like kind of how you're like I'm myself in all situations. I would talk that way about with my girlfriend. So why can't I do it with you too?
Because I ain't your goddamn girlfriend, and that might be another reason. Why we never fucked around, because I draw a hard line in that. Like I said, like when
that's why I think you might have a mother whore complex.
When I was
because you compartmentalize, and you might not do it in the mother whore complex way, but you do it in the friend period way.
Yeah, because I was joking around with you, and I was like, you tricked me into having the View talk. That was me saying like, now we just girl talking, but it's not. But it's just we were talking about you and guys and shit, and it was just. But I draw hard. If me and you are on the intimate side of things, yeah, don't talk to me like I had a girl put me in her close friends, right? On Instagram. Right? I had a girl put me in her close friends on Instagram, and I said something. I'm like, yo, what? She asked me about something I posted, and I'm like, yeah, but you got a close friends. Like you posted something on your close friends. I could have took that out of context. And she was like, my close friends is just like a bunch of my girls, and we just post funny shit. And I'm like, bitch, you got me in the girl chat. Take me off of your fucking close friends. Like I don't ever want to be associated with that.
No, I'm not saying necessarily like let's get in the group chat together, but I just think if my natural conversation is, oh man, I got my period, like if that's just on my mind, like I should be able to just say what's on my mind, you know?
That's okay, cool. I would be okay with that, but it has to be boundaries, because I was under the impression that girl group, like a group of girls, don't talk like a group of guys. And that's just not true.
I mean, okay, I can actually see where you're coming from, because I don't want a dude to come up to me and be like, yo, what's up? Like, can I tap your ball? Like,
not that, but I'm saying
like, I don't want a guy to talk like that to me either. So
I'm saying like, all right, if you're, even if you're in a relationship, but you hanging out with your girls, y'all will probably something will happen where y'all will go on the tangent of all the guys you think are hot or whatever the fuck, right? Yeah. Don't talk to me about that shit. So you wouldn't want your woman to talk about like, oh, I think so-and-so is hot? You wouldn't be okay with that? What? No, what the fuck are you telling me for?
I just think it opens up trust to be able to be completely honest, you know?
How? That's interesting. Not how, but like,
I don't understand. I don't know why it does, but isn't it a lot more freeing to just be yourself than to have these weird, like, strict boundaries? Like, because then what if it accidentally slips up, and then it like kind of creates like, I would rather be in a relationship where I'm with somebody and he's like, yo, my celebrity crush was always so-and-so. Like,
but see what that is? You just made a safe space. Celebrity crush is a bitch that you feel like he ain't never gonna run into anyway. But the male bitch at my job is bad than the motherfucker. You don't want your man telling you about an accessible bitch.
No, you're right. But here's the difference. I wouldn't even talk that way with my friends if I was in a relationship. Like if really? If I'm now, maybe that's where men and women are different. If I'm in a relationship, and
that's where you and other women are different.
Okay, but how about this though? I might say he's handsome. Like, I might just say it objectively. Would that be a problem? Like, if I'm like, oh my God, the doctor's so handsome. Like, I'm not like, oh, I want to rip his clothes off. But like, to me, like if we were dating and I was like, oh, isn't that doctor good looking? Like,
yeah, isn't that doctor good looking? I don't know. It's just like,
I'm not saying like I want to suck his dick. I'm just saying.
Nah, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's where my toxic masculinity line, because it's just like, yo, why are you trying to get me to agree with you that I don't care?
It's not trying to get you to agree. It's just,
if you say, isn't that doctor handsome?
Yeah.
I'm either going to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to say, don't ask me no stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
That's probably my answer.
But then that would be funny. Like if you were actually mad, I'd be like, this guy's crazy. But if you were like if you were just like yourself and you're like, don't talk to me about that. Like if you said it like that, I would think it was funny.
Like, I wouldn't slap the shit out of you or no shit like that. But I would be like, what? Oh no, I just thought he was like, all right, cool. Well, keep that shit to yourself.
So that's funny. That's funny to me. Like if you responded to that with humor, I would think it would be funny. But if you were like genuinely pissed, I'd be like, this is weird.
The only time I would get pissed is like one time I was watching a movie with this girl, and she was like, ew, why his butt look like that on the TV?
Yeah.
And I didn't hear what she said at first because I was like half paying attention but half doing something on my phone.
Yeah.
And she was like, look at that. And I look up and I'm like, what? She's like, look at his butt. I'm like, bitch, why you got me looking at this nigga butt? Like, and she was like, and now the way you just laughed and you, it could have just been, oh no, I just thought it was funny like the way his butt looked.
Yeah.
But when you proceed to be like, why can't I? Okay, so ew, so you must be, okay, you a homophobe. Like once it go into all that type, that's when I get frustrated because it's just like, bro, why can't you just respect the fact that I don't want to look at this nigga's ass? Yeah. That's it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
What?
There's nothing wrong with living that kind of way. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying for my personal taste, I think it's more freeing to just be yourself. But then I'm contradicting myself.
I don't think nobody is 100% themselves.
No, you're right because there are boundaries. Like certain people have different roles in your life. Like I'm not gonna go to my mom and be like, oh, I want to suck his, like, you know what I mean? Like I might say so and so is handsome with my mom, but like I'm not gonna take it to a certain sexual level if I'm talking to my mom. So you're right. If there's certain boundaries around family members or
people could do it. Yeah. Like one of the things that would irk me about like me dealing with women, right? Yeah. I would have to deal with attitude on 100. Yeah. And it's like, wow, you this mad. Why do you have to why you got to be so goddamn disrespectful? I don't understand that. Yeah. And the thing that would frustrate me is because I know these bitches got jobs. Yeah. And I know that no matter how bad their boss pissed them off, they filter out all the shit they want to say and keep it. So it's like, it could happen. You could keep it cool. Yeah. But you just choose not to because it's me. Or you choose, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like one of those things where it's like, all right, I'm not saying you got to talk to me like your parents. That's goofy. Because we still got to fuck at the end of the day. I don't want you to talk to me like that. But when it comes to, unless you and your mom just got that type of relationship where y'all talk about who y'all would fuck. When it comes to guys. I mean, so if I'm talking about my mom. Put me in your dad category. Like when it comes to guys. Yeah. And you might want to tell me how hot you think this dude is. Put me in your dad category where it's like, would I talk to my dad about this shit? It's okay. Nah. All right. When I interact, for example, my parents aren't married, but my dad and my stepmom are married. I see them talking about, but it's the way they talk about it. They're not like, yeah, I'd slap that ass. Like they're not getting that vulgar about it. They're just kind of joking and it's lighthearted. It's like about other people. Yeah. It's like the way they do it. If you do it in a certain way, it's not offensive. They're older, right? Yeah. And how long were they married for? Since I was 16, so about 20 years almost. I'm 30. I'm gonna be 37. Yeah, so. Damn, you old in the no, I'm just fucking around. I am getting older. You know what though? I actually don't care anymore. Like I used to be terrified of turning 30. I'm gonna be 37 in a few weeks. I used to be. For real? Yeah, I used to be terrified of turning 37. Thank you. Because I thought 37 was somehow like that's it. You're 40 basically. Like 7 is. Close you're almost dead. No, I'm not reinventing. I'm shit. No, I'm not reinventing. I'm feeling like I'm enjoying this part of my life. Like I'm like, I was so afraid to turn 37 and I'm actually loving this part of my life. Like it's nothing, you know? No, I feel that. Yeah. But you know what that is? They've been married for so long. Yeah. That once you get past a certain threshold in being with somebody, certain things can be said. I would imagine. But I like getting to that. I like knowing that I have that kind of comfort with the person. Because to me, if you don't have that kind of comfort with that person, that means like something's wrong. It's like, oh, this person actually would think I would cheat. Like it means there's some type of distrust there. I mean, maybe, but you also talking to somebody who I expect bitches to cheat any goddamn way. I'm a firm believer in what I don't know won't hurt me. If me and you in a relationship and you fuck a guy tomorrow and I never find out about it, what's the like? But I don't want you to fuck nobody and be like, yo, I just fucked the shit out of, like, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I know the difference. I see.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I can't control what you do when you're not around me anyway.
Yeah.
So when we're around each other, let's just be happy. Let's just be respectful. Let's do what we got to do to keep. I see what you're saying.
It's like, it's not like you can control their behavior in whole, but when they're with you, you want to feel respected.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's all that is. So maybe to give you some credit, maybe it is a part of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you're trying to point out to me how to do this, it's like, what are you trying to validate this nigga in your head so that maybe it's okay to, because I feel like you give somebody an inch, they'll take a mile. So it's like, today, some stranger nigga is hot.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, some stranger nigga bought me a coffee at the, and we sat down and we had a good talk. The next day, some stranger, like, but that's where my mind goes.
So you and I are thinking on two different levels right now, because I'm not even thinking that. I'm thinking just being silly and funny. I'm not thinking like, oh, I actually want to fuck this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not actually thinking, like, I'm thinking, I don't even know how to put in words what I'm thinking.
I think I see what you're saying, where you're just fucking around.
You're just fucking around. Like, I'm not taking it that seriously.
That's fair. If we're on a certain level and you're like, yo, what's up with yo, so-and-so is hot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and we just being silly.
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, go fuck him. As long as you don't care about if I fuck yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Like, and we just having that joking exchange. All right.
Okay. I have a better example. Let's say I have a boyfriend right now, right? Because I did have a boyfriend once when you came on the podcast, when in my other house where he lived in that house. I don't think you met him though, but
we were in front of the
drum set and everything.
Yeah.
So let's say we were
sitting on the couch.
Let's say we were still dating, right? The podcast is over, and I go back to my boyfriend and I say, Ricky was on the podcast today. He had this awesome shirt on. He looked great. Like, that's the type of stuff, like I can't say that to him. I'm not saying like, oh, I want to fuck Ricky.
That's neutral. That's not.
That's the type of stuff I'm saying. Of course, I'm not going to be like, yo, I wanted to fuck it. Like, I'm not going to say that.
But that's zoning in on the shirt, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean.
Then I might take it further and be like, he's got this great style. Like, he really owns his confidence. Like, I might say stuff like that.
Style, confidence, all that shit. Nothing has to, like, all right, cool. Saying a guy has a great style, great confidence, that's different from he's hot. Hot is
true.
Fuck what you got on. You like, hot is straight looks. Like, that's what that is. All that other shit, style, confidence. That's how people describe ugly motherfuckers.
I mean, okay. In your defense, I probably wouldn't say that to a guy then. I don't think, because I was thinking of it more in that terms, like, oh, he's got a great outfit, like talking like that. Or I might say it about people that are irrelevant, like, isn't that doctor hot? Like because I know I'll never see the doctor again, like stuff like that. But I'm not gonna talk about my friends in that detail. Yeah. That would be weird.
It's because it's just a respect. It's just if you're a respectful person and you don't even want to open that, because humans are human.
Yeah.
So even though there might be trust, it's trust because maybe I felt like, all right, you'll never, not that I thought you would never look at another dude like that, but it's just like, all right, cool. You could look at a dude and think something, but if you come tell me, naturally that opens up my mind to, okay, what the fuck are you saying now?
But see, if I'm really in love with somebody, I'm really not going to think stuff like that. I might look at it objectively and be like, oh, he's hot, but I'm not going to put that much effort. The thought's not going to go beyond that. It's not going to be like, oh, it's not going to be.
You've never been in love with somebody and fantasized about somebody else?
Barely. I've done it.
What the fuck is barely? What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, not often. Like, I've been dating people that I was madly in love with, and I would have hot friends that I just could objectively say they're hot, and I didn't fantasize about them. Every now and then something, but it would be with weird. It would sometimes be with ugly people. Like, sometimes it would just be like random fantasies about like people that I wouldn't expect. I'd be like, oh, that was weird. I met that guy for the first time on a podcast and I had a sexual thought about him, but I wouldn't take it that far. It's not like I had hot friends that I saw every week and I thought about them. It's not like that, you know?
I get that. But I feel like you might be a rare breed amongst civilization right now.
You think most people are monsters?
No, I just feel like even when you said like if I was around my girlfriends that I was in a relationship, I wouldn't talk about shit like that. It's just like
not to a certain degree. Like I could be like if one of my girlfriends is single and she's like he's hot, I'll be like yeah, but I'm not gonna be like oh and did you see his this, and I'm not gonna add that much. You know
what's funny? Especially since you're Italian. Italian women are some of the most vulgar bitches I ever heard talk.
I mean, I'm Americanized. Like, I'm not.
No, but I'm talking about.
I'm Italian in blood, but
I ain't never been to Italy. All the Italian women I know are Americanized. Yeah. So I'm saying like, knowing that, and knowing that like me and you are around the same age, and knowing that you grew up in New Jersey, it's just like, all right, cool. You're just more. Some people are just more reserved than others.
It's not even reserved. Right. It's not even a reserve because reserve implies that there's something to reserve.
Well, no, it could be. Well, there would be, and that could be whatever you measure as your dignity or self-respect, or some people lead by example, right? So, excuse me. So if you're in a relationship and you're with your girlfriend, y'all all in a relationship, they're having raunchy talk.
Yeah.
Maybe you're like, okay, cool. I got to be the leader in this bitch. I'm not going to join in on this shit. Yeah,
I have been in that situation before. I was hanging out with two girls. So it was three, me and the two girls. The one girl, the one girl was having an affair on her husband. So
a guy or a girl?
A guy. And so her rationalizing it was saying that, well, he cheated on her in the past, so she wanted to get him back. Now she was having this like dirty talk about him. She was like, oh, and then we went in the back room and I sucked his dick and it was hot, XYZ. The other girl there was laughing about it, like, tell me more. And I just looked and I didn't say anything to like shame her, but I just didn't laugh. I just looked and was like, I just like kind of like clearly had a face that I was like disgusted. And then the two girls, even though I didn't verbalize that, they could read that and they said something. They like looked at me and they're like, oh, sometimes people cheat in marriages. It doesn't mean we're bad people. And I'm just like, And I think at this point, because they called me out on my face, I did say something. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if we should really talk about it in that like joking detail. It just something's off about that. So I have been that bitch. I'm that bitch. Like you said before, you're that fill in the blank. I'm that bitch. Like
what was the
I can't tell you what the blank was.
You know how viral that'll go?
Not to it would it would not be a good strategy because it would give me people are crazy. I was gonna say it wouldn't be a good strategy because I would have one video of me blow up and then I wouldn't get any subscribers ever again after that. But then I was gonna say then again there would be some crazy people out there.
How many Trumpers are out there?
Yeah, they'd be like yes. They'd be like
she said nigga right in front of them. That shit would be hilarious.
They'd be like they would start worship. They would worship.
I would be the one that wouldn't get no more supporters. I would be the one to be like, yo, you just let her say that shit. But nah, that's funny because the two friends you were describing, those are the type of bitches I'm used to.
And I was that bitch there that was like, let's not do this.
So you must be you probably are, and I'm not. What is that shit called? Tooting your
ass kiss, like kissing my ass too.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not doing that, but you do seem like the type of person that doesn't just like you don't dabble in no type of fuck shit on any degree, even if you just talk.
Yeah, no, that's why I think that I want to be comfortable saying so and so's hot because for me it doesn't come from a place of actually like wanting to fuck them. It comes from a place of just like talking. Like
but then it's like it's also like okay, so then because we've had talks in the past, and it's like, where is the now this is just my own way to equate the thing. So where is the freaky level?
What do you mean?
Because if you don't even if you are,
you can unleash the beast for someone that you're made that commitment to.
So you save all your dirtiness for
one person. Yeah. I'm very monogamous. That's why for me to like have that open way.
But wait, what you say?
I'm very monogamous.
How?
Because what I just said.
But wait.
Like I saved.
And I'm not trying to call you a liar.
Yeah.
But you say you ain't fucking nobody for a year and a half.
Yeah.
When did you start fucking again?
December of
last year. Since December.
Well, this recent December.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was last year.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Since December, you saying you had
not at the same time. The first one I wanted to do again. I actually wanted that to be a relationship and it didn't work out.
Okay.
So.
All right. So maybe you are. But it's something to be like, all right, I'm going to go on. Nah, I get all right. Cool.
Just because someone's monogamous doesn't mean that they don't have a freaky side. It's just that how do you know I'm not going to say, let's have a threesome? Like, how do you know I'm not going to be in a monogamous relationship and be like,
is that monogamy? A threesome?
Yeah. If I bring a woman to the bed with me and my man and it's just me, him and my man and we don't do anything outside of the bedroom, it's like an agreed upon experience. I would say that's, yeah.
No, I mean, I agree that.
I've never done it. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make a case that just because somebody's monogamous, I'm trying to make a case that just because somebody's monogamous doesn't mean they can't be a freak in bed.
Fair enough, but me personally, I take threesomes out of the monogamy talk because I know monogamy to be one-on-one.
Well, then forget the threesomes.
But I understand why you would say that's monogamy because realistically, to anybody with a moral compass, that's not cheating. Yo, we having fun. We doing some wild shit in here.
If both people agreed to do it. If both people agreed to do it, yeah.
It's us. I get that. I understand that shit totally. Yeah. So, but that still would make you more of a freak than monogamous in my book.
Okay, then maybe it's not monogamous. It's just moral. Like it's just, hey, we're doing this in an arrangement that, like, even when I had the open relationship, I only was able to do it because I was under the impression that they were all cool with it. Like how were you saying, and I'm not saying.
Wait, you were actually in an open relationship?
No.
Oh.
The open relationship guy that I hooked up with.
Okay.
The only reason I was okay with it is because I was under the impression that he communicated it to his partner. And it was like a cool thing. I wouldn't be comfortable doing that with somebody. So I don't know if monogamous is the word, but I try to have moral. I mean, and I'm not trying to come across like on my moral high ground. I'm just saying I try to do the right thing, you know?
No,
doesn't mean just because I try to do the right thing doesn't mean I'm not have a freaky side in bed. Those things don't have to be separate.
Well, let's be clear here. Being freaky in bed is doing the right thing. If you want to fucking, if you want to keep some type of interest in, because I feel like the main part of any type of relation, like the main part of any relationship is keeping the interest peaked. That's my thing. Like monogamy can be freaky. Mm-hmm. You could be monogamous as fuck and still toss a salad. You be like, wow, this bitch.
Exactly. You could still lick an ass if you're in a monogamous relationship.
Do you do that? Just
I've dabbled.
For real? You've dabbled in the ass and the.
I've dabbled. We'll talk more off camera.
That's funny. Okay. All right. Cool. So you're not. Damn. That's an interesting
dichotomy.
Yeah. You really are like. You're who I thought a lot of women were before I really got into the dating world. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought all women were just closet freaks. Like out loud, they but back in the, you know what I'm saying, when the doors close, take that shit off, nigga. It's time.
I think that's how I am.
That's what I thought. You say take that shit off, nigga.
No.
But no. That's what I thought all women were. Yeah. Until you start to hang around women, and it's just like, that's the reason I don't do, like if a chick tells me, yo, come to Top Golf. Who gonna be there? Oh, me and my girlfriends. Y'all have a good night. I'm not doing it because I know how girl talk goes now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, But I thought all women were like, I grew up watching sitcoms. I grew up watching TV moms. You know what I'm saying? So
not all women are like that. No.
I thought all women were TV moms.
Yeah.
Man, I done fucked around and got out into these streets. I'm like, these bitches are niggas with pussies. Motherfuckers just say shit. And I'm just like, man, I can't be around this shit. But I don't want you to not partake in being go out, have fun, have your girls' night. I'm down with that shit, but I don't want to be around.
Keep it separate.
Yeah.
Okay. On that note, I do want to cap it off because I don't want my phone to die and to ruin everything. And you also have to go to the gym. It's getting late. So that's it, guys. Pranzata Podcast, episode number 148. I'm going to drop his Instagram in the description below if you'd like to follow him. If you're from the New Jersey, New York-ish area, you can see him perform. He does a lot of comedy shows in that area.
Can I plug something?
Yeah, plug.
This year I started a monthly comedy show. Every last Friday of the month, I'm at the Showroom Cinema in Asbury Park. Cookman Ave, every last Friday of the month. So some months it's the 27th, some months it's the 28th. This month is the 25th. This Friday, the Showroom Cinemas on Cookman Ave in Asbury Park. The comedy series is called You Can't Say That, because I say a lot of shit that people are like, hey, you're not supposed to, but I don't give a fuck.
And I let him say it on here.
and I love you for it. But so that's really the only thing I want to plug, because that's the only thing constant. I also have shows coming up May 10th in Branchburg, New Jersey at Willie McBride's. I have a show May 13th in Toms River at Maggie's Bar and Grill. Excuse me. The same night, this Friday, I have another show in Asbury Park at the Wild Air Beer Works. But yeah, look, she gonna put my tag in the thing, and you can see I promote the shit out of my shows. So yeah, but I just wanted to plug that shit before you. Sorry.
That's it, guys. Check him out. I'll drop his Instagram below so you could find him easier. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you liked it. Comment on the stuff we talked about. Whatever you guys got to do. Pranzata Podcast. Have a good night, guys. Bye.